Let's welcome Mark Mobius on the show, co-founder Mobius Capital. Mark, pleasure to have you on and always great to speak to you and at a time when we're trying to figure out what's happening with the world. So let's start right there. Yeah, fabulous. Let's start right there in terms of, are tariff fears now receding or it's somewhere in the backdrop? Because now we hear that at least as far as pharma tariffs are concerned, Trump wants to announce them in the next couple of weeks. That lack of clarity is still very much there. You think the worst is over in terms of tariff fears?
There will still be a lot of lack of clarity and a lot of uncertainty. So we just got to get used to that. I mean, it's something that is baked in the cake, so to speak. We have to be ready for volatility, uncertainty for at least the next 6 months.
Okay, so a lot of uncertainty at least in the next 6 months. What's the current play, Mark? How are you looking? First, let me start with US equity. How are you looking at some of the key triggers over there? And do you think a big recovery may be in place if the Fed does come in and cut rates?
Yes, I do think there'll be a recovery in the US market. I think the market will do fairly well going forward because Trump is watching that very carefully and wants to make sure there's no big crash in the market. And that's why he's made the changes recently, announcing some progress on the trade front. But I think the big problem is that the uncertainty will continue to be with us. And now with the volatility of the currency, you've seen what's happened with the Taiwan dollar. It's been quite a lot of movement in currencies as a result of that. And that adds even more uncertainty. The dollar's gotten weaker, significantly weaker. And that, of course, means that people will be hesitant to put money, at least from overseas, into the US market, at least temporarily.
Right. Mark, good morning. This is Hiral on the side. Interesting
Hi, how
point. I'm good. Thank you. Mark, clearly, when you talk about investors hesitating to put money in the US, do you think the money could start flowing into emerging markets then? Number one. And two, where is India placed on that map? Because currently, India is looking at geopolitical tensions as well.
Yes, money will be flowing into emerging markets, particularly as a result of what's happening with currency. When people see the Taiwan dollar getting stronger by 10+% almost overnight, they begin to think, hey, maybe I should be putting money into some of these emerging markets. The problem for India, of course, is the difficulty of getting into the market. I just started a new fund, and I've been waiting 3 months to get approval to put my money into India. It's just terrible. The bureaucracy is incredible. So this is something that India has to look at very carefully because they have a great opportunity to draw in money from all over the world, but they've got to make it easier for people to open accounts and to put money in.
Okay. So basically, Mark, what you're saying is India is an attractive bet at this current point in time. And if that is so, which are the sectors that you would be betting big on?
I would be betting big on domestically oriented sectors, consumer spending, housing, anything that's focused on the consumer, local consumer. Also, I would be looking at the hardware market for electronics. I believe that India will eventually, if they can get over this flows into the country, the restriction on flows, I believe that electronic exports will boom and there'll be a big market for that. And so companies doing that kind of work will be very, very good.
Right. Mark Somat also joining into the conversation. You have always been bullish on India, but given the current macro scenario and the geopolitical tension between India and Pakistan, is your view changing towards India?
I think the Pakistan issue is a non-starter. In other words, as you know, India and Pakistan have been at loggerheads for a long, long time, as long as I can remember. So I don't think this recent flare-up is going to mean anything in terms of affecting the market in India.
And Do you consider equities to be the best investment case for any investor at this point of time, or given the global scenario, one should choose other asset classes at this moment?
Equities are king. Now's the time to be in equities, in addition to gold, of course. But equities are the area where you want to be because that's where the growth will be, and that's where the market will emphasize growth, and you will be able to participate in that growth with very good companies that are growing their profits and adapting to the new technologies.
About gold, I think the implicit question was, gold has been the outperformer, and as we head into troubled times, are you seeing gold as an interesting asset class? Are you looking at this asset class at all?
I've been looking at it for a long time, as you know.
Yeah.
I've been recommending gold. I think ever since I've been on your program, I've been bullish on gold. I wouldn't rush into it right now because it's gone up quite a lot. But I think everyone must have some gold in their portfolio. And I believe gold will continue to be strong simply because of the great uncertainty that we see and the weakness of the US dollar in particular.
Recent reports suggested that your funds are sitting on 95% of cash. Why so, Mark? Not much investable ideas here?
Well, one of the problems is I want to put more money into India, and I can't because I haven't gotten approval. So that's one of the problems.
So, I mean, that might be some regulatory red tape there, but how much are you looking as a portion of your investable amount? How much are you looking to put into India? Just trying to understand how bullish is bullish on India right now, as far as Mark Mobius is concerned.
Probably 20 to 30% in India. That's quite a big amount.
Yeah.
So we really want to put more money into India. But I'm in no rush to invest. I have a lot of cash. There's no question about that. But with the uncertainty, it's a good idea to look at it carefully and make sure you got the right companies and not be too concerned about having cash. Cash at this stage is king.
Yeah, cash at this stage is king. Can't, expect wiser words from Mark.
Right. Last I remember, Mark, you were considering to invest in Vodafone Idea, but now things have changed. Government is the major shareholder in Vodafone Idea. So are you still considering investment in Vodafone Idea, or are you preferring other telecom companies like Bharti Airtel or Bharti Hexacom?
I'm not looking at right now at any of the telecom companies. I believe that the competition has gotten so intense and so difficult. I believe that we've got to be very cautious on all of these telecom companies.
Okay, thank you so much, Mark. Always great to have you on. Cash is king. 20 to 30% of what he wants to invest is in India. Very bullish, but is in no hurry. Always great to chat with Mark Mobius.